H-Town, what it do? I am Nick Stevenson, the president of Houston Sports. He is Ruben Calvillo, Mr. 713. Welcome to episode 17 of the Twin Toros podcast. I want to thank you all so much for continuing to support the Twin Toros, whether you're watching us on ESPN Houston, 713 Houston Sports, or you're catching the playlist on Houston Sports State of the Union podcast. We are so grateful for all of the love and support that you guys are giving us. Ruben, we dropped a video on election night that probably wasn't a great idea, but other than that, man, they've been showing us love.
Yeah, it happens, man. People were wondering what was going to happen that night. So we could understand, why eyes were elsewhere. But, here we are, ready to talk some Houston Texans football, baby. Prime time, battle red uniforms. Let's freaking go. Another opportunity to prove yourself. You walk out with the W. It might be your biggest win. It is your biggest win of the season.
Man, you sound a whole lot more excited than you sounded last week, man. I'm glad. Last week was tough, man, and I get it, man.
No, I mean, I'm still there in terms of where I was last week, but I just
It's a brand new day, baby. Let's see what we got.
It's a brand new day, and then the phrase of a broken clock is right twice a day, keeps on just ringing in my head, and
Okay.
I feel like we might get a broken clock performance.
So you feel like the Texans are the broken clock right now?
Huh?
You feel like the Texans are the broken clock right now?
No, just the O-line, buddy. The O-line. That's it.
I hear you.
That's the only thing holding, bro. That is, and you know what's crazy? I was having this conversation with Harley, and I was telling him it's not like the other areas of this team suck, because they don't.
Yeah.
Right. It's just one certain group where that is the problem, and if they get it fixed, you feel like you could win any matchup that you're into. So if you get a performance from this offensive line against Detroit, where you're able to keep CJ Stroud upright, you might have an opportunity to do something fun.
Absolutely. Ruben, you and I are going to trade places this week, because I'm going to be honest with you, brother. I'm not feeling optimistic about this one.
No, I completely understand. And then the fact that we saw no Will Anderson Jr. at practice today, no Nico Collins at practice today. I am, the confidence in this squad is, going lesser and lesser, by the day until we get to Sunday night. It's you're going against one of the best teams, if not the best team in the NFL, the highest scoring offense in the NFL.
Yeah.
You need all hands on deck. Yes, you do get back Azeez Al-Shaair and Jimmy Ward, but when you're talking about Nico Collins, who win here, we had the number one passing attack in the NFL, right?
Yeah.
People forget that we had that, and then Will Anderson Jr., who is becoming just a monster of his own. Potentially not having those two out there, man. You don't feel good against this Detroit Lions team.
So Ruben, what I was doing is I was trying to look at this Detroit Lions team, and I'm like, okay, where can we find the weakness that the Texans can exploit? Where are they going to be vulnerable on prime time on Sunday? And they got to come to the crib, so that's one advantage for the Houston Texans. But look, the Lions' total defense is ranked 22nd. They're actually 29th against the pass, but that's smoke and mirrors, bro, because they're outscoring teams by almost 2 touchdowns. Teams are throwing the ball. They're getting a lot of garbage yards, I believe, and they're having to throw the ball a lot because the Lions are getting leads. They only allow 18.5 points a game. That's 5th best in the NFL. They have scored 32 touchdowns. You mentioned number one scoring team, and they've only allowed 15. That's 3rd best. Only the Chargers and the Steelers have allowed fewer touchdowns. The Lions give up 106 yards per game on the ground. That bodes well for the Texans, but they rush for 152. Oh, by the way, they're 7-1, probably in the best division in football. By almost every metric, this Lions team is better than the Houston Texans. If the Houston Texans are going to win this game, they are going to have to not just ball out on defense. This defense will have to be perfect. I'm talking 2000 Ravens perfect, because we've seen this defense play very, very well. And unfortunately, because of speaking of broken clocks and broken records, because of this offensive line and the offense's inability to get anything going, if this defense gives up 1-2 plays, it's been enough to break the camel's back in these losses. They're gonna have to be perfect, and I mean on all levels of the defense. And so when you find out that Will Anderson Jr. may not be there, it's kind of hard to find any optimism for this game. Now, listen, this is what I will say. Anytime the Texans always surprise me the most when I feel like they're not going to be able to do something. It's usually with me the opposite, right? I'm always being optimistic when everybody else is being negative. Well, I've seen that some people have some optimism that maybe it's possible, but for me, I can't sit here and predict that the Texans should win this game. Can they win this game? Absolutely, any given Sunday, right? I just can't sit here with a straight face and predict it. Maybe with a fully healthy team, even with the offensive line struggles, okay, yeah, you got a puncher's chance in that game. But when you combine the injuries with the deficiencies that they've had on offense, I don't know, man. It's just, for me, it's tough. I hope they prove me wrong. I would love to come back on Tuesday on the ESPN Houston channel and tell everybody I apologize and apologize to the Houston Texans, man, but I'm just not seeing it.
Well, the Houston Texans defense is going to rise to the occasion. At home, they're elite. Against Josh Allen, against Anthony Richardson, against Caleb Williams. I mean, they made those guys look silly. And there is an H-Town advantage here. It all comes down to the O-line, and that's it, Nick. If these boys can give C.J. Stroud an opportunity to operate, then we're cooking.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing holding back this team from a deep playoff run is keeping C.J. Stroud from being sacked. And that's been easier said than done all year. We going thinking, can this offensive line finally get it together? No. Well, now you have a new starting offensive line. Could one change potentially help this Houston Texan offense? We'll have to see, man. But I agree. It's hard to think this Houston Texans team can get a dub against one of the best in the NFL when you are potentially without Nico Collins. You are potentially with that Will Anderson Jr. And from what you've seen, this offensive line the past 9 weeks is just not, it's just not where it needs to be. So I could understand why there's, not a lot of confidence heading into this primetime matchup.
Yeah. Ruben, I've been telling you that I believe they can get better and they have to get better.
They don't got a choice, yeah.
At the point I'm at right now, though, until they get better, I can't believe that they're going to protect CJ, especially against the Detroit Lions.
Now the good thing is that they're
as soon as when they show me, I'll believe it. Say that again.
Like, I would say that the Lions pass rush is, kind of, since the absence of Aiden Hutchinson, they haven't been getting to the quarterback. Last week against the Green Bay Packers on 39 pass attempts, Jordan Love was sacked 0 times. He only took 2 quarterback hits. However, they did trade for Zadarius Smith from the Cleveland Browns, and he has 5 sacks on the season. The Texans are familiar with him.
Yeah.
So, they get a much added boost, but I feel like this isn't a dominant defensive line.
No, it's not.
And like you mentioned it, like the 22 part into the overall defense statistics, and I do think it's a little bit foolish because they just number one scoring offense in the league, but I think that some other offenses have had opportunities to put up points, but these Detroit Lions, man, like you said, they could just run away with the game. So it's going to be fun to see. You hope this defense is going to step up.
No, I believe that 100%, Ruben. The problem is they've been stepping up. In the Jets game, they stepped up. But 2 plays where they messed up pretty much broke the camel's back, man. And that's why I said in this game, they're going to have to be perfect. The 2000 Ravens had a terrible offense, but the reason they won the Super Bowl is because their defense was damn near perfect. They didn't give up anything. There was no broken plays. There was no missed assignments. And that's the type of game I think the Texans will have to have if they're going to beat the Detroit Lions in this game. Or you hope, any given Sunday.
You're calling it.
Yeah, any given Sunday, the Lions have been so good. They're due for a bad game, right? So maybe they come out and they take the Texans lightly and they lay out a dud. Who knows? To me, those are the ways, though, that you're going to win this game. Either your defense is 100% perfect. And here's the thing. C.J. Stroud, the very few times that he's not pressured and he does have time to throw, he cannot miss. He's got to hit his guys. Now, if Nico's there, that's going to be easy. If he's not there, I don't know, man. Now you're without your two of your best receivers. All eyes are going to be on Tank Dell again. All eyes are going to be on these tight ends. Cade Stover, can you make a play? Dalton Schultz, can you keep making plays? It's going to be tough, man. And as it has been all year, man. And I told you last week, the way the Texans are going to win games is play dominant defense and run that rock. That's going to be how, if they can get Joe Mixon involved and he can get over that 106 yards that the Detroit Lions allow, then they got a chance, man. They got a chance. And like I've said before, how many times have we didn't think the Jets had a chance against the Texans, to be honest with you. And so I'm not going to go in completely unoptimistic. It's hard for me to predict that the Texans should win this game. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's just a well-coached team, and on phases, Dan Campbell, Aaron Glenn, former Houston Texan, and then, one of the great young minds in the NFL, Ben Johnson, who a couple of years ago, man, I wanted him to be the future Houston Texans head coach. But
yeah,
dude, this is a tough team.
Bro, they've turned Jared Goff into a star, bro. They've turned Jared Goff into a star. It's crazy.
Bro, he doesn't even need to throw the ball 15 times.
That's
when
true.
You have Jahmyr Gibbs, when you have David Montgomery, and Jahmyr Gibbs could also hurt you through the air. This offense is just firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
You have Amon St. Brown, and Harley mentioned that he's caught 30 of his last targets. You have a young tight end in Sam Laporta from Iowa, and dude,
shout out to my fantasy team.
Lines in the NFL.
Like,
this team is built to go to the playoffs, built to go to the Super Bowl, and you have an opportunity to, show what you can do. A potential young riser with a young quarterback in CJ Stroud, and everyone knows what the one weakness is. And it's the offensive line. And we're going to keep on coming back to it every single time, because we cannot sit here on the camera and tell people, say, yeah, this defensive line is going to be an issue, because we're going to be lying to them. Right. We can't say, oh, we don't think this linebacking core is going to be up to it, because we'll be lying to them.
Yeah.
And you can say the same thing for the secondary. I can't come up here and say, yeah, I think this might be a crazy game for Joe Mixon, because he had 4 straight 100-yard performances.
Yeah.
It's only one thing that is wrong with this team. And if they get it together, who knows, man? We have yet to see the full potential of this Houston Texan offense.
Yeah.
But God damn it, you got to give me one.
Yeah.
You got to give me just one performance. And, get this one dub, and we'll handle it, the rest of the way the best we can. But you do not want to get embarrassed, dude, in prime time again.
Not again.
Just got embarrassed on Thursday, and then you have a primetime game next week against the Dallas Cowboys. Like, dude, this is your opportunity, offensive.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, the highest paid group. You're healthy outside of the left guard position. Does Jared Patterson or Kenji Green, bro, do they give this offense a much needed boost?
You hope so, man.
I'm praying.
At this point, man, it's about how much pride do you have. You've heard what everybody's saying about you. You've watched the tape. You've seen how bad you guys look. You guys know that you're the weak point of this team that has Super Bowl aspirations. So at some point, man, you got to strap it up and say, hey, I'm sick and tired of hearing all this noise, and go smack somebody in the mouth, bro. And what better time to do it than on prime time, Sunday Night Football, against a 7-1 team. Like I said, you're going to be at the crib. You got the battle red jerseys. You got the candy paint helmet, bro. Come on, man. It's be a perfect moment. Like I said, I hope I am completely wrong about my initial feeling on this game. Let's go ahead and give the people our score predictions, Ruben. Come on, man. You're Mr. Optimistic this show. We traded places from last week.
Let's go 27-24 Houston Texans. Let's say that Joe Mixon is the reason why you're in this game. CJ Stroud gets you in a position to kick a Kaimi Fairbairn 50-plus yard field goal for the win. And we are feeling real nice on Sunday Night Football, man. But, dude, you do this, you pull this off, and I'm not gonna know what the hell to think about this Houston Texans team. Because if you like, say you do win, right? Say your offensive line blocks well. I am having a rotating door every single week. I am picking up an alignment. I'm dropping alignment. I'm trying to see who gives me the best shot every single week, and we'll fix this thing in the offseason. But
Yeah.
there's only one thing wrong with this team, Nick.
You got to piece it together for now, right? Just figure it out week by week.
It's sad to say, man, because we didn't go, into this year thinking the O-line was going to be as.
Yeah. That's the truth. That's the truth. Well, man, 27 points. That means if it's on Joe Mixon, I mean, he's going to have a couple tutties, right? He'd have to run for at least $1, maybe $1.20 to put up 27.
Tank Dell gets his moments, Tank Dell.
Okay.
100-yard performance last week. Maybe he comes into his own. Maybe Don Schultz decides to give a damn. I don't know. I'm grasping here.
All right.
But
my score prediction is 27-17 Lions.
Ooh.
I'm sorry, Houston. Like I said, until I see this line protect CJ, until I see CJ not running for his life on almost every snap, until I see him not so nervous and having happy feet even when he does have time to throw because he doesn't trust this offensive line, I got to see it to believe it, man. And knowing what the Detroit Lions can do, knowing that they are relatively healthy and the Texans are not, it's hard for me to predict a win, man. But I hope they prove me wrong, man. I will come here. Like I said, I'll apologize. I'll be celebrating with all of you. Ruben, you going to be at the tailgate?
Yeah. I think so. We might be at the tailgate.
Okay.
We might be in the orange line with the H-Town. I'm sorry, with the horns up tailgaters and then the H-Town tailgating crew. What about you? Are you going to be there?
I unfortunately will not be there. I will be working that evening. Actually, no. Wait.
Be able to watch it?
No, I'm working days.
Oh,
I get off at 6 though. Man, listen,
guys, your overalls.
Help a brother out. Can y'all please go subscribe to the Houston Sports State of the Union podcast page and get me some subscribers so I can quit my job and do this full time like my homeboy Ruben, my fellow Twin Toro. That's what I'm talking about. No, man, I'm gonna watch the game probably from the comfort of my home, and I'll be checking out you're doing a watch party, right? Play-by-play.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'll be checking that out as well. You guys make sure you do that. Right now, we're already hip and representing the 713 Houston Sports. That's where this video is going to be. You guys know what it is, though. Every Tuesday, we go over to ESPN Houston and we drop a reaction video. We will be dropping a reaction video to this game, win, lose, or draw. It's H-Town till we drown. Don't forget to subscribe to 713 Houston Sports. If you're coming over here from the ESPN channel, we do our preview games right here on 713 Houston Sports. I will leave all of Ruben's links in the description. I am the president of Houston Sports. My podcast is called the Houston Sports State of the Union podcast. I'm taking a tip from my boy Ruben. He says, man, you need to post a little bit more content. Make sure you post something every day. So I got a little something I'll be announcing soon. But you guys check out the channel, man. I rep all of H-Town, all Houston sports. And I love doing it, man. I love representing this city, and I love celebrating Houston sports with you guys. So Ruben, I like this. I like positive Ruben. I like optimistic Ruben. This is the guy that gets me pumped to do this podcast every week.
It's just like I said, bro. Like the negativity for this line's still there, and it's until they show me otherwise, and I have no reason. I know that 80% of this team is going to step up.
Yeah,
and I'm praying that 80% is able to do without the other 20.
Yeah.
However, if that 20 could do it, if I'm getting 90% of this Houston Texans team, then I feel like I can beat anybody, brother. And then, you go into the season with only one thing you need to fix, and that is the O-line. And
absolutely,
we just got to see them step up, act like they give a damn, be disrespected that someone's lining up in front of them. You mentioned the new uniforms, candy paint. They care about fashion, right? We know our offensive linemen love fashion. You do not want to get embarrassed in those brand new uniforms because, don't ever bring them things out.
Yeah, man, we'll have to burn them up. It'll
Vegas
be like
has this game being close. I think we're at 3.5 points. I wonder if that line
underdog
kind of increases with Nico Collins potentially not being there or Will Anderson Jr. However, let's shock the world, boys.
Yeah, man. Will Anderson's tough, bro. If he doesn't play, he's really hurt, and that would concern me because that dude plays through everything. He played through a bunch of injuries last season. He's a tough dude, man, and I think if he can go, he will go. So we'll keep an eye on that injury report as the week goes on. I'm happy though, Ruben. Like I said, I understand you have your reservations about this line, but like I said, you are in a considerably better mood this episode than we were on the last, and that's what I love to see.
I got my pen going. I just ate some pretty good food.
There
I'm
you
feeling
go.
real nicey.
Yeah, I feel you. Well, give the city of Houston some words of encouragement before we get up out of here, brother.
Some words of encouragement, Houston, is that there's only one thing that needs to be fixed. And once it gets fixed, if it gets fixed, you could expect to see some damn good Houston Texans football. And like Nick said, it's all about pride at the end of the day because this is all you got. This is it, guys. We're not there's no more trades that could be made. I don't know if there's anyone left on the streets, but this unit is what you have, and they need to go out there and give a damn. Go out there with some effort and protect your franchise quarterback because that's what you have. This guy's going to lead you to excellence. This guy's going to be the one that gets you paid. And like I mentioned, it's only one thing. That's it. I can talk about the other team because the other team's doing fine. Hell, even Tommy Rocket, who was messing up his punts earlier in the season, now he's doing fine.
Yeah, special teams is kicking ass, bro.
Unit, bro. And that's what's so frustrating because it was the unit that we put the most investment into.
Yeah. I tell you what, man, we're going to end it on a positive note, though. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Offensive line, I'm tired of this shit.
The positive note I'm going to leave y'all with is we get to play the Titans twice before the season is over. So
yeah,
that's automatic 2 dubs right there, man. So I want to see. Here's the thing. If this offensive line balls out, I don't even care.
We're talking about a dub.
Listen,
probably.
I don't even care if they lose. If CJ's protected and they lose a close game,
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Because there's no moral victories.
No, not at all.
Losses, right? There's no ugly wins the same way you don't lose beautifully.
Right.
However,
if they ball out, I'll take it.
If they ball out because of the offensive line and we see a close game, that's just an indication of what we've been bitching about these past 4 weeks is true.
Yeah.
So let's see.
All eyes on you, D'Amico. All eyes on you, Bobby Slowick. All eyes on this offensive line, man. Go prove me wrong.
And if we do bad, if this I know we're trying to end this episode.
No. Go for it, bro. I'm listening.
If this offense is bad, right? What do you think happens with Bobby? Come on. Now.
I know what
2 embarrassing losses.
I know what the fans are gonna want. I know what the fans are gonna want. I have no idea what D'Amico Ryans is gonna do.
Lord forbid you get embarrassed in enemy territory next week on Monday Night Football against the Dallas Cowboys. They're knock on wood. If this offense is stagnant, if it is trash, I'm pretty sure we might see a change in play calling, dude.
Who's gonna call the plays?
You got someone who has you have Bob Lazor, who has been an offensive coordinator before. He is on the staff.
So
what about Gerard Johnson?
Are you saying that
was getting head coaching interviews for OC,
right?
Who's known CJ Stroud since the Elite 11.
Okay, so is Bobby Slowick getting demoted or is he getting fired?
He's getting demoted. Yeah, you're taking away play callings or you're having some more involvement in somewhere else. If you go out there stagnant, bro, and you haven't scored a touchdown in the second half in the past 3 games. Right?
He's getting demoted to film coordinator.
Yeah, bro, you're going back to fucking PFF. But that's what I could potentially see happen. Now, obviously, it could not happen. We haven't seen any type of change. But if we see another frustrated CJ Stroud on the sideline, the alarm bells that I talked about last week, they're only going to be louder, and they're going to get louder every single time we see this offensive line fail, this offense be not what we were advertised. But, that's all the bad vibes aside. Hopefully this offensive line decides that they give a damn and protect CJ, and we see a good performance, man. We see a very close football game.
Yeah, this is what I need from you, H-Town. I need you guys to show up early. I know you're gonna be turned up in the parking lot.
Like, I understand you want to go to the tailgate and get slaughtered.
Yeah.
Trust me, it's hard for me to leave and come back here and do the stream.
But you show up on time, don't you? You show up on time. Absolutely. I need everybody in their seats when kickoff happens. I need to see red all throughout that stadium. You know the Lions fans are showing up, bro. You know they're going to be in the building. So H-Town needs to represent. I want to see that place covered in red. I want to hear that place loud and proud. I don't want to see no empty seats when the camera's panning through the crowd at the beginning of the game, man. That stuff's embarrassing, bro. We need to rep the H like never before, man. And I hope that we see it. I don't know. They're gonna have to start like letting off some horns in the parking lot or something. Like time to go inside.
Some horns, some smoke, like
something
down. Like because they have the reps. Go tailgate to tailgate. Hey, get your asses in the game. Hurry up.
For real, man.
Or
if you can't do it on primetime Sunday, when can you do it? Bro, get your butt in the seat. Get your butt in the seat.
Hey, remember when the Rockets had a problem? Well, Rockets have always had this problem, even back in the James Harden days of Fifth Stadium. Who was the owner? Was it, Leslie or Fertitta that had dollar beers for the first hour?
Ooh, I think that was Alexander.
Okay. Cal McNair. You want Houston swarming?
Yeah.
You want the city of Houston in their seats on time?
Absolutely.
First hour, dollar beers, dollar hot dogs, and you're going to get yourself a Houston Texans crowd that you have never, ever seen before.
Yeah, you might run out of beer before the game starts, but
you might run out of beer. Everyone might pass out by the first quarter, but that first quarter will be the most electrifying football you have ever seen in Houston.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't wait now. You got me hyped, Ruben. You got me hyped. You guys go say what's up to Ruben in the orange lot out there at the Texans tailgate, and then you make sure you turn in this 713 Houston Sports to watch his play-by-play. Show some love to my fellow Twin Toro, man. One day I'm gonna have to get out there with you, man. We're gonna throw out some T-shirts, some koozies, some hats. We gotta get this brand going.
Yeah, and now I'm starting to get cold, so it's gonna be a vibe.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we hope it gets cold. Anyways, man. But we're gonna see all of you guys after this game. I almost said after this win, Ruben. We're gonna see you guys after this.
Pops.
Okay. We're gonna see you after the Texans shock the world and beat the Detroit Lions on Sunday Night Football. We will be on ESPN Houston at 7:30 p.m. Can't wait to see you there. In the meantime, you know what we want you to do. We want you to rep the H-Town 10 toes down. We love you. Good night.